Hello guys, good morning. Now we are going to discuss about the subject called CST206 operating system. We will cover these points through this video. First one is deadlocks, second one is necessary conditions, third is resource allocation graphs. We will see the example. It takes money to make money. You can't get a job without experience. You can't get experience without a job. Background: the cause of deadlocks, each process needing what another process has. This results from sharing resources such as memory, devices, links. Under normal operation, a resource allocation proceeds like this. It requests a resource, it uses the resource, it releases the resource. Then bridge crossing example. Here, traffic only in one direction. Each section of a bridge can be viewed as a resource. If a deadlock occurs, it can be resolved if one car backs up. Several cars may have to be backed up if a deadlock occurs. Starvation is possible. Deadlock: waiting for something for infinite time in which there is no progress for waiting process. Process waits for one another's action indefinitely. Necessary conditions: a deadlock situation can arise if the following four conditions hold simultaneously in a system. First one is mutual exclusion. At least one resource must be held in a non-shareable mode. That is, only one process at a time can use the resource. If another process requests that resource, the requesting process must be delayed until the resource has been released. Hold and wait. A process must be holding at least one resource and waiting to acquire additional resources that are currently being held by other processes. No preemption. Resources cannot be preempted. That is, a resource can be released only voluntarily by the process holding it, after that process has completed its task. Circular wait. A set P0, P1 up to some Pn of waiting process must exist such that P0 is waiting for a resource held by P2 up to some Pn minus 1 is waiting for a resource held by Pn, and Pn is waiting for a resource held by P0. Deadlocks can be described more precisely in terms of a diagram graph called a system resource allocation graph. This graph consists of a set of vertices V and a set of edges E. The set of vertices V is partitioned into two different types of nodes: P equal to P1, P2, P up to 7 Pn. The set consisting of all active processes in the system, and R equal to R1, R2 up to 7 Rn. The set consisting of all resource types in this system. A directed edge from process Pi to resource type Rj is denoted by Pi to Rj. It signifies that process Pi has requested an instance of resource type Rj and is currently waiting for that resource. A directed edge from resource type Rj to process Pi is denoted by Rj to Pi. It signifies that an instance of resource type Rj has been allocated to process Pi. A directed edge Pi to Rj is called a request edge. A directed edge Rj to Pi is called an assignment edge. Pictorially, we represent each process Pi as a circle and each resource type Rj as a rectangle. Since resource type Rj may have more than one instance, we represent each instance as a dot within the rectangle. Note that a request edge points to only the rectangle Rj. Whereas an assignment edge must also designate one of the dots in the rectangle. When process Pi requests an instance of resource type Rj, a request edge is inserted in the resource allocation graph. When this request can be fulfilled, the request edge is instantaneously transformed to an assignment edge. When the process no longer needs access to the resource, it releases the resource. As a result, the assignment edge is deleted. Here we can see the resource allocation graph P1, P2, P3, and resources R1, R2, R3, R4. R1 is having one instance of R1, R3 is having one instance of R3, two instances of R2, three instances of R4. P equal to P1, P2, P3, R equal to R1, R2, R3, R4, E equal to P1 to R1, P2 to R3, P2 to R3, R1 to P2, R1 to P2, R2 to P2, R2 to P1, R3 to P3. One instance of resource type R1, two instances of resource type R2, one instance of resource type R3, three instances of resource type R4. Process P1 is holding an instance of resource type R2 and is waiting for an instance of resource type R1. P2 is holding an instance of R1 and an instance of R2 and is waiting for an instance of R3. P3 is holding an instance of R3. To illustrate this concept, we return to the resource allocation graph shown in figure 1. Suppose that process P3 is requests an instance of resource type R3. Since no resource instance is currently available in figure 1, we add a request edge P3 to R3 to the graph figure 2. At this point, two minimal cycles exist in the system. First is P1 to R1, then R1 to P2, then P2 to R2, then R2 to P3, then P3 to R3, then R3 to P1. Second is P2 to R2, then R2 to P3, then P3 to R3, then R3 to P2. Now, this is also another method we can find here. Process number P1, P2, P3. P1 is holding only R3. P1 is holding only R3. So we will write 1 here. P2 is holding only R1. P2 is holding only R1. So we will write 1. P2 is also holding R3. P2 is also holding R3. So in R3 we will write 1. P3. P3 is not holding R1. P3 is not holding. Here this is R1. P3 is not holding R1. P3 is holding only R2. So R2 will write 1. R3 is not holding. P3 is requesting. Here we request matrix R1. P1 is requesting R1, not R2, R3. So write 1 here. P2 is requesting only R2 but not R1 and R3. So we write here 1 here. Remaining we write 0. You can see in the figure, so you can understand here. P3 in case of P3, see carefully. P3 R1, P3 is not requesting R1, P3 is not requesting R2, P3 only requesting R3. So you write here 1. Availability P1 is not P1. In P1 this instance is allocated to P2, so no availability, 0. P2 also P2 here R2 here this allocation is going to P3, so here no allocation for R2. For R3 two resources are there, types are there. One is allocated to P1 and another is allocated to P2, so it's 0 0. Remaining cases also it is 0 0. All allocations are not available, so this graph is deadlock. Now consider the resource allocation graph figure 3. In this example we also have a cycle P1 to R1, R1 to P3, P3 to R2, R2 to P1. Here we'll write the process P1, P2, P3. P1 is holding only R2, not R1, so 0 1. P2 is holding only R1. P2 is holding only R1, not R2, so here 1 0. P3 is holding only R1, not R2, so here 1 0. Request matrix is P1 is what you say, P1 is requesting R1, not R2, so 1 0. P2 is not requesting R1 and R2. P2 is just holding R1, so P2 request is R0 0. P3 request, we will see, P3 request only R2, not R1. P3 is holding an instance of R1, so P3 will write 0. P3 is only requesting R2, so 1 we will write. Availability 0 1 1 0 means it will become 1 1. 1 0 and 0 0 it will become 1 0. 1 0 and 0 will become In this means 1 0 and 1 1, 1 0 and p3 gets r2 is it's requesting. So we will write this one here. 1 will write 1 0 and 1 1, so it will become 2 1. Resource allocation graph with a cycle but no deadlock. Here is what we learned. What are the necessary conditions for deadlock resource allocation graphs? Thank you.